all newcomers to the AEC. The first time you are attending our annual Congress. You're very, very welcome. My name is Deborah Kelleher and I'm a Vice President of the AEC. And I'm joined on this greeting session by some council members who you will meet later, Georg and Ingeborg, by our CEO, Stefan, and by two members of our office who you're going to hear a lot from, Paulina and Linda. The AEC is an umbrella group that represents many music conservatoires, and you're going to hear a lot about us, but we're really pleased that you've come to attend this Congress this year. The theme of the Congress is Going Online, Connecting Communities in the Digital Age. And wow, we could not have imagined at this time last year what we would have lived through in the last number of months, and how this has presented great challenges, but also given us the opportunity to test, experiment, and keep going, using new technologies and different ways of reaching out. So the Congress will be over 2 days where we will explore very important topics that's important to our sector, but also have moments where we can connect and share, get to know each other and learn from each other. I'm very excited about the next couple of days, and I hope that you will have a wonderful experience. This session has a few different parts to it. Firstly, we're going to have some time led by Paulina and Linda, where we will get to know each other. We will get to know who has turned up to this newcomer session. Then the office, Paulina and Linda, will give you some information on the AEC. After that, we may reflect on the value of the AEC together, and we will work in little breakout groups to talk about some issues that are affecting us and that already we can share. And finally, we will report back on the breakout groups and maybe talk a little bit more about the AEC and the conference ahead. So thank you for joining us, and I'm now going to pass over to Paulina and Linda.
Thank you, Deborah. So if I may ask Linda to share a screen just to show the first slide, and we will move to the Mentimeter presentation. Yes, I'm not sure if you are all familiar with the Mentimeter, how it works, but it's very easy to access. And you'll now see two possible ways of accessing this presentation. So the first one is the link to the presentation that you can access via your computer. And the second one you can access from the second device. I would advise this option, for example, from your mobile. This will be shared on you also on chat, so you can access directly the link. I will give you now, yes, it's available on chat. And I will give you a few seconds just to choose. Either you want to access the presentation via your computer, but then you will have to change tabs because you will ask to fill in and give your answers, and then to go to another tab to see the results. Linda, maybe you could share, okay. Or you can access it via your mobile by typing www.menti.com and including this code that you can see here. I'll give you still some time, and maybe you can react with a thumb up, tell me that you are ready. I'm able to see all of you, and then we will be able to start. Great, I see some of you are ready, and if so, we can start with the presentation. Don't hesitate if in the meantime you have time, you have questions. I see you already started, that's great. Okay, so the first question was, which country are you from? What we can see, okay. You can see it yourself. Netherlands, Austria, Catalonia, Spain, England, Sweden. Oh, it moves. Belgium, Serbia. Okay, quite a variety. I have 14 people that answers this question. Let's move to another one. What is your position, function, role in your institution? It's good to know who is attending this session with us. Okay, we have a director. We have a rector, alumni office, assistant professor, project. Quite a variety as well. Faistin, okay. International communication office, great. I see that 10 people answered. Maybe someone else would like to share their position function. Otherwise, we move. Thank you so much. To another question. What are you grateful for today? You are taking some time to answer this one. It's not a difficult one. Sunshine, where are you? In which country? Okay. Okay, I had a donut, I like it. AC, very good. My job, family. Good internet connection, yes, I'm also grateful for that. My health, meeting you, and yeah. That's so nice to see all those answers. Okay, I will keep them later and I will share with you the PDF version. Linda, would you like to continue?
Sure, I can't see the questions yet.
Yes,
so you can move.
Yes.
Yes, so when you think about AC, which keywords come to your mind, or which words? Blank.
Nothing comes to your mind.
Will help you fill that gap in. Connections, Europe, advocates. I think we don't need to do our presentation. Everything is there. It's new to me. There's at least one person. Experience, people. We have network.
Music.
Knowledge.
Community. Very good. Europe.
Musical union.
Sharing.
Projects. Cooperation.
Finding great colleagues. Nice. 13 people. I guess we can
Yeah, definitely. That's very nice to read. So if you have had a chance to go through the Congress program, could you tell us which theme or themes does appeal to you the most?
Music. Roland.
So we have diversity of repertoire, student-centered learning, music and digital challenge, post-COVID, digital.
Diversity of repertoire, okay.
Diversity of music. Okay.
We have 10 responses. Okay, maybe we continue then. Another question?
If there is a theme not addressed in the AEC Congress, or is there a theme not addressed which you would like to see addressed in future? You can also write none if you are very happy with the program.
What COVID has changed? European universities. Coordinating projects, not for now. Okay.
Okay. Just a message. I can continue reading. Paulina, apparently there is at least Sarah waiting in the waiting room. Yeah. I don't know if you can still let her connect. So we have coordinating projects, what COVID has changed, marketing and promotion. Okay. Maybe someone would like to explain. If we look at I suppose marketing and promotion for the conservatoires and coordinating projects, would that be some kind of practical session on how to coordinate projects? I don't know who wrote this.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, I'm Nuria from Barcelona. Yeah, I wrote this coordinating projects because when you arrive to the General Assembly, you see how many possibilities do we could have building up projects together, and it's something that maybe AEC could help to those institutions who are not so ahead on that to go on.
Yes, maybe it's interesting. Do you know about the meeting for international relations coordinators organized by AEC? Have you? You are
directly, but
yeah, because that would be indeed maybe more topic we would address there, but maybe there would be needs also to do this at the Congress possibly. Can I ask perhaps the person who wrote financial planning, is that also some kind of workshop or discussion to discuss good practices?
That was me actually, Linda. Yes, it is about how we each manage our income and how we think about our projections. In case there's any way we can kind of learn from each other in how people manage that process.
Great, thank you. Okay, I think we were done with our little rounds to know a bit more from you, right, Paulina?
Yes, and that was the last question from us. Thank you so much.
Great. Well, thank you. That was a really cool way of getting to see who's in the room very quickly and effectively. Before we go on to the breakout groups, Paulina and Linda have some information about the AEC itself in another slide deck. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is correct.
Go for it.
And I'll be happy to start. And just to mention that you can post your questions on chat, because there is a room at the end of our presentation for you to answer any of your questions. So let me start. AEC, our vision and mission. AEC is the leading voice for higher music education in Europe and a powerful advocate for its members' institutions. It's a voluntary coalition, and AEC sees professionally focused art education as a quest for excellence in 3 areas: artistic practice, learning and teaching, and research and innovation. So what do? We work for the advancement of higher music education, in higher education in performing arts, primarily focusing on music, and we do it based on 4 pillars. So the first pillar, enhancing quality in higher music education. Here, we are promoting excellence across Europe in relation to artistic practice, learning and teaching, and research and innovation. We are fostering internationalization and supporting the education of graduates with high professional standards to well prepare them to work in diverse and rapidly changing society. The second pillar, promoting participation, inclusiveness, and diversity. AEC work to increase opportunity and access to music education, for example, by promoting early childhood music education. AEC is promoting the diversity of approaches to higher music education, which means that we are encouraging our member institutions to ensure equal opportunities to all individuals, regardless of their race, color, and social origin. And we are strengthening the student voice inside the association and its membership. Third pillar, strengthening partnership and interaction with stakeholders. AC engage with organizations who are dealing with higher education policy at the European level. And the fourth pillar, fostering the value of music and music education in society. So strengthening a lobby at the level of European institutions and developing an advocacy toolkit. So if you would like to read more in details about those four pillars and about our mission and vision, we encourage you to go on our website and check the AEC strategic plan. It can be downloaded from our website. I will talk about the website later. And now I will give the floor to Linda.
Thank you. So in order to realize all these objectives and our mission, AC conducts a wide range of activities, which we can classify in three categories. So AC acts as a think tank, as a hub, and as an advocate. And we will explain a little bit more each of these. So for almost 20 years now, AC has been initiating projects which have enabled us to break new grounds. We've been establishing different working groups composed of experts, mostly from Europe, sometimes also beyond Europe. So from experts from conservatoires, music universities. They have been researching, exchanging practices, collecting practices, delivering workshops, producing publications. And you can see some of the themes which have been explored. In the first 10 years, we've been focusing mostly on the implementation of educational reforms in Europe, the Bologna process. So you can see we've been looking into curriculum design, qualification frameworks, quality enhancement, mobility and recognition, learning and teaching. And progressively in the last 10 years, we've also been looking at a wider range of issues and also exploring what are the latest trends and how we could do to make sure that our institutions reflect them and are really contemporary, in line with their period of life, how can I say. So, for example, we've been exploring, and we are still exploring, how we can enhance student voice in the conservatoires and outside. We are looking, or actually starting to look into power relations, engagement with society. We've been looking for some years into entrepreneurship, learning and teaching, in particular student-centered learning and teaching and collaborative learning, internationalization. So as many themes as possible. So through this work, we are trying to shape the future of higher music education. And we're trying to do this all together, so to involve as many people as possible. So you're always encouraged to come to us, give feedback on whatever we are developing. Paulina, I let you go on.
Thank you, Linda. So AC is providing a range of platforms for the exchange of experiences and ideas between member institutions and for the identification and sharing of best practice in European higher music education. Here you can see the list of our main events that we organize per year. First one, annual congress that you are attending now. This gathers all the representatives of all member institutions that they are able to meet and discuss specific themes. They are able to exchange information and to broaden their professional and personal networks. And this meeting also includes a General Assembly meeting. Annual meeting for international relation coordinators, also known as IRC. That's the forum for conservatoire staff dealing with student and teacher exchanges. And then we have several specific subjects, a platform such as pop and jazz platform, early music platform, European platform for artistic research in music, also known as EPARM, and a learning and teaching platform. Also, AC provides many information and exchange tools. One of the main information tool is our AC website, where you can find all the information about our members, services and tools that we provide, our work and policies, events, projects, also the publications and vacancies. You can download the overview of national higher music education systems. As I mentioned, publications from the completed European projects, job vacancy platform, and European online application system for students and staff exchange, easy. Yes. Linda.
So AEC also acts as an advocate. This has two facets. On the one hand, we are representing and advancing the interests of the sector, and then both are interconnected. We are connecting with other organizations in the field of education and culture. As far as the first element is concerned, which you can also call lobbying, we are actively following up on policy developments. For example, recently on the budget discussions for the European Commission in relation to the 7 years to come. We are writing policy papers or contributing to writing them, or writing statements on the political developments. Just on Monday, we were contributing to publishing a letter together with more than 100 cultural organizations, making a call to put culture at the center of the EU recovery from the COVID. We are also meeting regularly with representatives of the European Commission and Parliament. We are, of course, very interested to meet with our member institutions, to get to know them better and to get to know their needs more precisely. And also, that's more upon demand. We can meet with governments at national level. Sometimes it helps institutions if there is maybe a policy or a development that might be imposed by the government, which they are not very happy about. So it's a way to maybe ask AEC to come and present examples of how this issue is handled in other countries, for example. But there can be, of course, other ways. And finally, I was talking about the partners. Here is some kind of incomplete list of partners. Some of them are exclusively dealing with higher education, like the European University Association. Others are only into culture, and others are also, like us, both cultural and education networks. With some of them, we have close connections. For example, the fourth one, Culture Action Europe, which is a sort of lobbying organization. Our CEO, Stefan Gies, is member of the board. We also do regularly some joint activities with some of them.
Okay.
European Jazz Network. Yes.
Yes. Let's have a look at the organizational structure of the AEC. So the main body of the association is the General Assembly, consisting of representatives of all AEC active and associate members. So the AEC Council represents the members of the AEC, and it consists of 11 representatives from the member institution. And the executive committee consists of president, secretary general, and 2 vice presidents, and 9 regular council members. The AEC members elect these representatives for 3-year term of office. During the annual General Assembly, the AEC Council meets 2 times per year. And then we have the AEC office. You will see our picture very soon. And then the AEC organizes its different platforms and activities through the establishment of different working groups composed by experts in different areas within the field of higher music education. And they work for us on a voluntary basis. Now we have a question for you. How many members does AEC have? And we would like to ask you to use a chat, and maybe some of you will be brave enough to guess how many members do we have. You can type your response on chat. There are no wrong answers. It's just use your imagination. Okay, no one wants to give it a try. Okay, 350. Who gives more? Okay.
I give the answer.
400. Oh, 420. That's very ambitious. Very good. Shall we show the answer or so? Yes. So we have 250 for active members and 37 associate members. Yes, Rastko Popovic was the closest one. We don't have any reward for that for now.
Maybe just to explain shortly the difference. So when we say active members, we are talking about conservatoires and universities of music in what we call the European higher education area. So all the countries which have signed the Bologna process. When we talk about associate members, we talk about the same type of institutions, but outside this geographical zone. So let's say outside Europe in the large sense, as well as any other organization which has an interest in training for the music profession.
Great. And now you can see the picture of all the AC Council members. In this blue frame, you will see from the left AC President, 2 Vice Presidents, Georg and Deborah, that are with us today, and the Secretary General. And I'm sure you will meet the rest of the council members during the Congress, during the various sessions. And then we have the AC office team, and as well, now you have an occasion to meet me and Linda, but I'm sure that you will meet other office members during the various AC sessions. Maybe also I wanted to mention that we welcome 2 students and we offer internship, 6 months long internship twice per year. All the information can be found on our website. So you can also see 2 of our interns here. Yes. Then we would like to invite you to follow us on different social media. This is our website, as I already mentioned earlier. If you click on menu, you can find all the information about the AC, about the membership, the benefits of the membership, our services, tools, work, policies, events. If you scroll down, you can follow the latest news of the AC. And also we are very active of other social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on LinkedIn. So we encourage you to follow us and to stay up to date. And now finally, do you have any questions? I'm looking at the chat and I do not see any questions coming from you. If that's the case, so there will be still a room maybe at the end for a Q&A, so we can maybe give the floor back to Deborah.
Great. Thank you so much, Linda and Paulina. I am surprised that Stefan is still here. I would have thought he would have had to go for a lie down with all of the jobs that he does that was just put in front of his very eyes. They're a very hardworking and committed office, and they achieve an awful lot for music conservatoires every year. Now I want to go on and break out into small groups and have some really good conversations. And I know that Linda and Paulina have prepared 2 questions to discuss, and Linda will talk us through what we'll do now. But this is the first time that we want to hear from you and allow you to chat with each other informally, and then come back and fill us in on what you were talking about. So,
Indeed. So we were actually expecting maybe some more people, but I think we can still follow the same format. I would be no moderator. So we will see, probably we will join you as well, as we will only have a smaller amount of groups. So we will do some groups of 5 persons, and we will just break for 15 minutes. This will be done automatically with Zoom. And we have prepared 2 questions for you, which we will share in a moment on screen and in the chat. So ideally there would be no moderators. It's more really up to you to proactively brainstorm together to provide some input to these questions. And it would be nice if someone is volunteers at the end to report the main points of the discussion so that we can inform the other groups. So before we split, I'll just explain the question. So the idea would be to come up as a group with 1 or 2 suggestions for the following question. The first one is, how could AEC best support its member institutions to face the COVID crisis? And so when we say member institutions, we mean including help staff and students. And the other question would be, you've seen that we've produced quite a lot of material over the years in our various projects. We don't know if you, for example, are aware of them, of what AEC has been produced up to now. We feel that a lot of times what we produced could be maybe used or at least disseminated further within the institutions, possibly even outside. And so we would really like to hear from you if you have any ideas on how AEC and the member institutions could ensure that what AEC is producing, the knowledge, can be better disseminated inside the institution and outside. So I will stop sharing the screen. After that, we will be reporting back. And let's just see how many participants we have.
We have 18 participants, and I am now creating 5 rooms. So we will have 3 or 4 persons in each that will allow you to have a nice discussion in a little crowd, and we will break for 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, automatically you will come back to the plenary.
So I think we could, well, could I ask, I will in the end do the reporting back for my group. We agreed. So would anyone from the other 3 groups like to just share very quickly, 1 to 2 minutes, some elements? Maybe someone from Maren?
I can do that from the group.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Chikong. I'm from the Institute Conservatory of Music in Singapore. Our group had a very, I'm just going to jump to it because we only have 1 and 2 minutes. We all of us kind of like faced a very difficult situation in COVID, and one of the things that we discussed was how AEC had been helping the institutions with dealing with this situation. And I think one of the things that I really find very helpful and useful for AEC is that we remain connected with each other, and so that the kind of policies and the way we manage the COVID situation, we are doing not in a single unit, but actually as a group, in solidarity. I think that's very important because we learn from each other. In Singapore itself in 2003, as I mentioned to my group, we had the situation of SARS, and that affected us very badly as well. As soon as we found out that this COVID situation is very infectious, just a bit like SARS from the beginning, we took steps to manage that. We put on masks, we have to wash our hands, we keep our social distance, we trace, and so that we can kind of track who is being infected. And I think that's important that Bernard is also part of AEC. He's one of the council members, our dean, and he shared many things that he have learned and discussed at the AEC and brought it back to the institution so that he can share the practices and perhaps also maybe share our ways of managing COVID back with AEC itself. And so that is a nutshell of what we have kind of discussed at our group. Thanks.
Thank you. Someone else from another group about this first question of what AEC can do to help? Yes.
Hi everyone, perhaps I could share from my group. So we felt that AEC could really best support its members by sharing our best practices. So besides teaching methodology, but also on the health and well-being of the teachers and students, and how like everyone's coping mentally with the situation. And at the same time, also the question that came up was, how can AEC actually keep the international relations alive since we can't travel now? So to make it more sustainable, they actually explored the possibilities of blended mobility. So it means a mix of face-to-face and also online. And also, this issue that came up was also on the recognition of these mobilities. So for example, how many credits and can the students take, and also it promotes lifelong learning. So an opening of courses for people to continue to learn and share their practices.
Thank you very much. That's very helpful. The third group, anyone? Is there a chair? Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yes.
So we had a short but nice conversation. Basically, our insight and what AEC is doing, it's quite really a lot, and one could always ask for more, but a lot of already things about support in methods, in also psychological, social support, and other things has been laid out, and I'm looking forward especially to for example, technological things with chamber music classes that we will have. But we mentioned also that maybe on a political level, as an advocate and as Linda, I think you previously said that it's possible to contact with governments, maybe to share insights of different ways how are governments dealing with these situations, because some are helping musical institutions and music culture even more. Some, unfortunately, they're reducing funds or not caring enough. So maybe this outside external, maybe pointing finger or just emphasizing how this is good and showing good examples in what we established here in AEC, that we have countries which are dealing this as best as we can.
Great.
So
thank you so much. Yeah, that's also very helpful. We are also at the moment preparing our action plan for 21 with some specific actions linked to what to do in relation to COVID recovery, and that's something that would be very helpful to integrate. Very quickly about my group, I was with Veronica and Ellie. We've also been indeed discussing the collection of best practices and maybe even having some experts share practices at the technical level, so what concerns digital solutions to teach remotely and play remotely, but also practices about the knowledge and how to reach audiences. And also a point new to me, collecting examples of how conservatoires have been communicating or are communicating with their students, with audiences, with communities, about the COVID crisis, to show that they or we stand up as a community, so to show to the families and the students that we do care, so exchanging some information about that. Maybe quickly some reporting back as well on the second question, which was more about communication and how to reach as many people as possible with what we've been produced with AEC. Could we do it maybe in the same order? I don't know if Chi Kong, you want to start?
I better jump in there and say we never got to the second question. We were
okay.
into the first question.
Okay, same for the other group, and the third as well. Okay, so I will just report what my group did. I see Veronica needs to leave. Thank you so much for your input. So we discussed, let me see. Yeah, I think there was a belief that I think is shared, that the connection is mainly between AEC and the institution and not so much with people within the institution. So it's still important that we continue with what we do, meaning that we disseminate resources to members of staff in the institution, and that the institution itself is in charge of disseminating that within the institution. And otherwise, we talked about the website and the fact that it's not very user-friendly, and especially that it's very difficult to find information, but also to find information back a second time. And so I was therefore able to announce happily that we are actually right now looking into a new website. So we are starting to create a new website. And if you have any input on how we could improve the way we are sharing information, it will be very helpful to hear from you. So I will pass over to Deborah for maybe some final comments, or someone else. So you wanted to say something?
Oh, no, yeah, our group also discussed very briefly about this question. Is there still time to share a bit about it?
Oh, yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
I thought that the other groups had not shared that question.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so actually I'm now working at Untitled Conservatory of Music, but I was also an alumni of the Royal Conservatory of The Hague. So I think I really benefited a lot from both institutions, and I'm really thankful for this opportunity. And I think this seed was really planted, and from this I have been sharing with all my colleagues, and even back at my institution, home institution, and even my colleagues back in The Hague about what I've learned from both institutions. So I think one way to actually disseminate this knowledge also starts from these partnerships and the students that are involved in these partnerships or meetings, so that we can actually really learn as much as we can and share with our peers. Yes, and also we raised another point about having more focused sessions during the meetings in the Congress. So to really identify concrete topics, projects, or within the institution that is important for them.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much, all of you.
Yeah.
And so I hand over to Deborah.
Well, thank you. We've got 1 minute to go, and we're going to stay on time for that. Thank you so much for your openness and your honesty in the discussions. We've already learned a lot. We hope that you're going to find a mixture of concrete information that will help your own practice develop as an individual and for your institutions, and also that you will make friends, that you will connect, that you will continue to share your views. And we're really looking forward to these next 2 days. And we hope at the end of this Congress that you can come away from it having learned a lot and enjoyed a lot as well. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you to the team for all of your preparation, and for my council members for participating. And we're going to see you all very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.